My walk with Lyrical. Now, I've been networking with anime rappers for a long time. I was in the Animation Rap League. I used to listen to Kadesh Flow. And so on Facebook, one of the anime rappers who I came across was called Lyrical, who happened to be from California. The majority of the anime rappers that I network with are out of state or even out of country, even. Like one of them lives in the United Kingdom. A lot of them live in Atlanta. The other ones live in other places like Michigan, DC, Philadelphia. So networking with these rappers for years, and all of a sudden a convention comes up, and he happens to be doing a panel at that convention. So this is a guy that I was networking with for years on top of years on top of years, and I finally got to see him in person. Prior to all the other people in the ARL that I've met that I still haven't seen in person. So I met Lyrical on Facebook, and we had a long talk about constructive criticism of my music, my mic quality, my flow, and so he saw me develop over time. So it was really like damn near 7 years. It was like probably 5.5, probably 6 before I actually got to like meet him in person. So we started talking about rap. We started talking about Full Metal Alchemist. I showed them my battle with One Piece. I'm like, cause it's risen in the bits in my heart I never miss. Speaking the words, Kapasi's back in school performer Alchemist. He's like, never this for metal. But the crazy thing about that was, over time, he saw my songs get better and better, and literally, it was a development. I even talked to him about my relationship with Abby at one point, literally, and he wasn't new to dating, and I was surprised. And also, he comes from Oakland, so I lived in Oakland for a short period of time, and I can tell that's projects compared to where I come from. It was mainly because he actually grew up in the area where Raj grew up, where all these other people that I've stated previously on my channel grew up. This guy literally was with all that shit, so he knew a whole lot about it. And contrary to the other rappers that I've met online, this guy actually smokes weed. So I was like, what? You know, but it wasn't anything God knew he came from Oakland, but to be an anime fan and smoke weed is very threatening, you know, because of the fact that we're usually squares, we're usually people who, you know, aren't really social at all, let alone smoke weed. And it was pretty freaking cool. He had online clout for being a rapper, you know, so he had girl troubles here and there too, so he helped me out a little bit, and he also helped me out with my music, so we had a long time of waiting. He was working with Baker Boy, Dominic, people who I previously made songs with. And that was the beauty I saw in going to conventions. I didn't know that it could intertwine so many people. I thought it was literally just anime people in costumes. And I literally thought that there wasn't much more to conventions, more than the merchandise and the cosplayers. So I learned a whole lot more that people really get online with these conventions. Because I got online at Fanmade the first time. And then the second time was even freaking worse, but it was for the wrong reason. So this is the walk I had with Lyrical. So it happened like this. Like literally, that guy had a panel, and I was literally training hard. I was getting my Todoroki fit together. I was literally got my Omari fit together, got all that shit together, you know. I hit him up. I was talking shit about Storm. Like, nigga, you're not going to see me in Storm. It's like, bruh, you are not being me in Storm. I'm like, please, I'm gonna school you with Fire Z and Gohan. It's like, Gohan's too fucking fast. I'll kill you with part 1 Goku, part 1 Shikamaru. That nigga was hella funny. So, I finally got his number and we started talking, so we agreed to meet up for a panel one day. And so, the second day came with all Todoroki. I'm stuck with this fly ass fit, and he just got done making the song, and he literally just hit me up. Yo, I got 2 blunts. I'm like, ooh. Blowing weed with my homie at a convention. I never thought it could be true, but that was the very first time I got to meet an anime rapper in person that I met online, and that was actually pretty freaking dope. And the thing about it is, he still showed signs for being an anime fan, but he was hella with it that I thought he was. He was actually really with the shit. Literally, but the problem is there was a little bit of a conflict that happened. Not only to them mislabeling me as a predator, but it was really, really worse when I got to meet Ayo. We had a A1 walkthrough and interaction, but the crazy thing about this shit was there were multiple bitches that I was already dating, you know, looking at us walking and shit like that. He's wearing all black, you know, some simple, you know, long sleeve black shirt with some black Jordans, you know, and I'm sitting over here with this fly ass fit with multiple colors, looking like Tony Stark of anime, and it was hella fucking dope. It was reverse psychology, like, oh, these two black guys are walking that convention. That walk was hella fucking dope. That walk was legendary. But the crazy thing is, I was showing multiple ounces of swag, and he was literally just staying calm, cool, and collect. So here's what really happened when I got to talk to Ayo. So everything was all good and dandy until the beginning of the end when we started, really networking. And at the end, I started like getting out of place, for a good and bad reason. What was happening is I had this whole front of being a pop star when I was going to FAMA because I was trying to get, my reputation on paper because I'm known for networking, but I'm known not for having anything in my name. But I always network with somebody in my name, and somebody always gives me a shout out in order to make me a little bit more popular, so it gets me closer to the point where I do get it on my own, to the point where I do have it in my name. But it took a whole lot of time because of the disadvantage I had at the time. But the thing about me and AO Lyrical was this. So basically it came down to a point where we were just, the conversation ran out. Things at the convention were starting to get dry, so he had to go, and this was freaking crazy. So this reverse psychology was really, really fucked that I did, and I really pissed Aaron off by doing this. What happened was, like, he was with his partner, and, like, he was about to say goodbye, and so he kept on saying sentence after sentence, and every time he would finish a sentence, I would blink at him while I would adjust my glasses, and everybody was famous for doing this shit that I was doing. So basically what I did was this. I pulled a high school asshole trick where I looked at Aaron and I winked at Aaron, knowing that he's a guy, knowing that it's reverse psychology, and everybody was looking at me like I'm this school jack, like I'm this asshole, literally, because I was doing dumb shit like gorillaing, and literally I was doing some popular shit. And literally, everybody's looking at me like I'm the spoiled bright kid, literally. So I look at Aaron, and every time he says a sentence, I wink at him, and I wink again. And I made sure it was a guy to make sure that I kept a pop star gig up and that I kept up this reverse psychology shit so people would pay attention, so people will absorb that, so you will understand what the fuck was going on. And Aaron didn't take it as being gay, and I knew he didn't take it as being gay, but the problem was he knew what that was for. And I pissed Aaron the fuck off, and he got mad. You could literally hear the blood boil in his head. So literally, he's like, ooh, because what he was is he comes from Oakland, he comes from a project, and he knows what happens to people who do that shit. He networks with not only anime fans, he networks with some of the people who I network with, because where I was making the AMVs for the popular rappers was Oakland, Vallejo, and it's called around the Bay Area. Do not criticize the Vallejo part, but Aaron networks with a couple of those people. He actually knows people who turf. He actually knows people who dance. So he knows what those people end up doing and where they end up in life. And when I did that, that shit not only pissed him off, it partially made him jealous too, because he just got out of that street life and he literally just got his shit together. He just literally got on paper, became a rapper, literally got all the praise that he did. He used to be jealous of those people, but he also knows where those people end up. Yeah, he's seen people gorilla before. That ain't shit to him, but he knows that he was jealous at the time, but he already made it. He worked hard to get out of that rut. He worked hard to get out of that ghetto lifestyle. And I'm sitting over here shoving it in front of his face, literally acting all cool and shit. So he gave me the hint. He was a little bit jealous, but he told me that's not gonna last for long. And the reason why is because of this. Those people who act like they're in high school when they're grown men, which is what the fuck I was doing. There was no way around it. That shit would only be cool when I was in high school, but I was a grown man. I was 20 fucking 4 with 3 kids. And I was literally flopping around like a fucking pop star and shit. And he literally gave me that hint. You know what? You're gonna learn after this fucking shit, because they already false accused me. But that did give me the right to shove it in their face, me acting like Richie Rich and shit. It was really bad because he knows those people end up in jail and end up formal shows of who they used to be. They don't have nearly as much money as they do in their fucking prime, and they're forever treated like little kids in society because they literally got out of place and they weren't doing shit that was appropriate for their age. You will forever be a formal shell of who you used to be if you do the shit that I did when I was Todoroki at Fanime, because you have to adapt and you have to understand that there's a time and place for everything, and that wasn't the time, and that certainly wasn't the place. But the worst thing about that is literally that is taking advantage of what you have over others. And that's literally like Uncle Jay winning in a chess tournament where all the people who used to be his competition died. It's a very serious fucking issue. You can't think you're a teenager when you're a fucking adult. Even though we have media that brainwashes people thinking that rap is everything, thinking that who's going out with who is more important than your personal life and how happy you are. Material things are more important than how you feel as a person. So when I got off of anime, he proved this point. There were two bitches at the mall who were literally like 20 something, and I get done literally doing this and that, literally pulling all those girls, and they say it's the Savage. And literally, that would have hit hard when I was in high school, but I'm a grown man, and that was way too late to get that approval. So that is what happens when you think that you're doing something right, when you're an adult doing teenage shit. And he taught me a big life lesson at that time, and he moved on, and he literally had my back, but that shit severely pissed him off because of the fact that I was acting all cool and shit. I was doing the exact same thing that those white kids were doing to me in high school in front of Aaron, and like, that wasn't cool. But other than that, it was a pretty A1 walk, and literally all the bitches were staring at us. It's like, oh, he has a friend. And later on, shit got hectic, shit got cool, and you know, that was a pretty cool experience, actually meeting an anime rapper who usually are anonymous online for the very first time in real life. Got to smoke with him, got a whole lot of publicity, got a whole lot of shit. That walk is legendary. That's one of the many things that they know me for Shoto Todoroki at Fanime for, but again, that is literally a cool ass dude. So if you want to check out AL Lyrical, if you want to check out his music, go check the link in the description below. And he is A1 specialist. He is hyphy. He is all that and an anime fan. But the great thing about him is he knows when rap is lyrical, and he's inspired by Mos Def and Talib Kweli. And he, even though he comes from Oakland, he chooses to do lyrical rap over gangster hyphy rap. And I feel like that's actually very appropriate. So this is Mood Tricks, and this is my walk with AO Lyrical.